Here I am, talking about something which I thought it was completely obvious. I have to say I really love videos on phone calls that find a very weird way to con you. And once in a while it does happen to me as well. Like it happened today on Facebook. I was selling something and someone says like, I want to buy your thing, but I'm going to send a courier to you. Anyway, those are quite sophisticated. What I'm about to talk in this video is what I thought it was obvious. At the level of if you don't close your door properly, you can just open it with a credit card. Stuff like that. But clearly, it is not obvious enough. So let's talk about Security 101. Let's keep talking about the real world. The most classic thing is you're talking on the phone and someone passed by and steal it. Now, depending on the city where you live, this seems very unusual. And I remember, for example, in some areas of London, there were signs that says do not talk on the phone on this street because you might get it stolen. And when I went to Bali, I was surprised that no one used maps on their phone. And the reason is, if you just put it on your bike, it will not last more than 10 minutes. And I've seen people with their phone stolen on the back of a motorbike giving indication to the driver. And you can think like, okay, I might put, the sticky rings so you can put your phone in one of your finger, which is a terrible idea because then you lose your finger too or fall from the bike. So the point is, if you're in a dangerous place, what you do is use your earphones and keep the phone in your pocket. Or you can use something like a smartwatch to give you indications without having to have the physical phone. And if we go to more organized crime, what they normally do, like if they want to steal your wallet or they want to steal your backpack, they come to you in a group with something that obscures your vision, like a map. And that's quite classic, for example, in Naples. A group of people come to you with a huge map put in front of your eyes, like, can you help me finding these? And they completely cover your view. Or if you want to talk about the most classic, the 3-card Monte, which can be either 3 cards, so 2 queens of spades and 1 ace, and you have to find the ace and they start switching the cards. Or it can be with 3 cups and you have to find the ball. The pattern is always the same. You're not playing against a magician. You're playing against a group. And one day in London they were doing it and I stopped there for over an hour to see how they do it. And what they did was, so there was the magician and there were 2 accomplices that play against the magician and won a lot of money because you need to see someone who wins money. And then after 15 minutes they split. You notice there are 2 people on both sides of the roads, which are the ones that check if police is coming. So everyone starts walking in a different direction, then they went back, they switched back the money because they had to give back the money to the magician to keep playing and win. We're talking about organized crime. And the main thing you have to keep in mind is you cannot win. It doesn't matter if you know how the trick works, you cannot win. They will never let you. It's their job. They do 24/7 that game to cheat and fraud people. So even if you know where the card is, even if you know where the ball is, and you bet right, they will find a way not to let you bet. So do not waste your time trying to oversmart someone who does that as a full-time job. Let's move to something a bit more subtle. Salesmen door to door. So they knock at your door and they're not gonna cheat on you, but they definitely will try to manipulate you. And that's why I always decided I will never purchase something on the spot. If I'm interested, if it looks good, I will say, perfect, I really like this, I will get back to you tomorrow. And that's because at the moment you have adrenaline, you can make stupid choices. You don't know which level of influence they actually had on you. And I spent a lot of years of my life studying NLP, studying how to do something like that. But still, we're human. We get influenced by people and they are good. It's their job. Of course they are good. I remember, for example, a guy from Warwick trying to sell me a Hoover. And he made this presentation. He actually entered with an excuse, which is something I don't usually like. So it wasn't clear at the beginning that he was going to sell me something, but okay, it's your job, I appreciate. And then he went to the full-on presentation, which was about 30 minutes, which again, okay, I always listen to people, they have experience. I like to see how they handle the situation and so on. And then he said, do you want to buy it? I'm like, okay, how much it is? Oh, it's just 4,500 euros. And if you're in the US, $5,000 more or less, or 4,000. I don't know. I don't know which way the change is today. But anyway, around that price in US dollar, which is crazy. It's a Hoover. I mean, the only reason I would spend that much on a Hoover is if I can program it in JavaScript and it automatically clean my house, make me a coffee, maybe a cappuccino, and then serve it to me at the table. Then maybe. But otherwise, it's a crazy amount of money. And the guy got super angry I wasn't going to buy it, which is even weirder. I mean, do you really close every sale you do? And maybe yes. Maybe it was that good in general. So who knows? But be aware, if a salesman comes to you, short version, take a day to think about it. And now let's move on phone scam. Now there's channels dedicated to scammers and they are amazing, from Pierogi to James Brown. I absolutely advise you to watch them and understand how the scam works. But what I was surprised about is, one, those scams exist practically identically in Italy and Spain. And I bought a new SIM card in Spain and they start calling me after a week. And the other thing that is happening right now is because the price of energy is rising, a lot of companies call you to switch the provider of your electricity or gas or whatever at home. And they are very, very manipulative. So a common thing is they call you, they know your name and they know your address. So they always start with, am I talking with Stefano Solinas? Now, problem number one, if I say yes, in theory, I don't know how common it is, but in theory, they can record that yes, and they can use it to sign an agreement. And I can't just imagine a nightmare it would be to say I didn't say that yes in that circumstance. So first thing, I try never to say yes. So are you Stefano Solinas? You can go on. Something like that. And the second part is they always say, I am the person you made a contract with, which is never true. Never. I made a contract online because I don't like spending time talking to people over the phone. So I made it on a website. It would never be the person who made my contract. And I think I already got like 40 phone calls that said they were the person who made the contract. And when I asked for more information, like, okay, what's the company you work for? They never reply. They always hung up because they don't work for any company. They are just an intermediary that try to make money by changing your electricity company. So never assume that the person you're talking to is the person they're saying you're talking to. If they say they are from your bank, why are they calling you? And never add information. If they ask you, what's your date of birth? We need to do a security check. Don't do that. Call your bank back. Hang up, call your bank. Do not trust anyone that is calling you on the phone, and do not add information so the next person calling you will know that. And I saw that a lot when I was working in a news company in the UK. They call me and ask me for different person to try to map the company. But it's not about company, it's about any level. They try to find more information to attack you. And now you can think, okay, but I'm not target. I have $100 in my bank account. Why would they want me? Well, if they can get access to your bank account, if they can get your password, they can use your bank account as a mule. They can fraud someone else, transfer to your account, which they have control of, and then transfer it offshore. And being a mule is a crime, and it would be a nightmare to demonstrate that you knew nothing about it, because there would be money going in and out. And they do that by using direct bank account, or for example, they go to schools or universities and they say, okay, how much money do you have in your card? $100, I give you $400 if you give me your card and wait 1 day before you disable it. That's how you become a mule. It's dangerous. So never share more information that you have to, and never trust people on the phone. And let's move from phones to computers. Phishing, one of the most common thing you get in your email. So you get an email saying, we're delivering this item, but we couldn't find you. Please click here to give us another time. Are you expecting to receive something with that courier? If not, it's likely a scam. And if yes, it might be a scam anyway. And in the moment you click, they know a lot about you. First of all, they know you read that email. Second, they know your IP. So most likely they know your location. Maybe the city, maybe a bit more vague, maybe very specific depending on the provider. They know which browser you have. they know which computer you have, so they can probably estimate what is your tech level and how much money you have. It's an estimation, but you know how it works? A lot of clues give an answer. So if you don't expect an email from someone, do not click on any link on that email. Whatever is your bank, the UPS, whoever, do not click links. If your bank sends you something, go to your bank, log in, and see if they sent you a message. Do not click on links. And since we're talking about computers, let's talk about password security. Have you ever heard use a different password for every service? It is really true. And the reason is some services are so, I don't want to say stupid. Let's say some services have been built by developers with not much experience and they save your password. They don't save a hash version, they don't say a complicated algorithm which tells if a password is the same. They save your actual password. And how do you know that? For example, because if you say, I lost my password, they send your password in an email, which means they've stored it. Now, if someone is not even able to hash your password, and hashing is not enough, but it's a start, most likely they will not protect their server either. So someone will hack them and get your email and password. So if you use the same password in other services, like your email or like whatever, you subscribe to the pizza place near you, Domino's Pizza, and then they hack the server, they find your password, it's the same password you use for Amazon, they can order stuff. Same password used for Gmail, they can enter in your email. And again, you are valuable. Even if on Instagram you have 100 friends, if you send a message to these 100 friends with a fraudulent link, at least 10 of them will open it. So the fact that you don't have many connections doesn't matter, you're still a valuable target. And don't expect that someone spend their time like, oh, this person, let me try his password. They've scraped. It takes them less than a day to try a million passwords. So they hack Domino, they try every single password with every single common service, Facebook, Instagram, Bank of America, Gmail, Hotmail, whatever. They will. It's their job, they steal money. So never underestimate the value that you have. And don't underestimate the level of issue that is to lose your email or to lose your phone number or to lose your WhatsApp. It's a real issue. Let me finish with a real life story. A while ago, I was doing a course with a friend. Now someone entered in her office while she was on lunch break. Sit at her computer, read all the emails because he thought I might have an affair with her. So he went through all her emails and then he created a fake email account to write to me from her laptop in case I checked the IP address. So in my mind, she was writing to me as a second person trying to make fun of me, something like that. And he started inquiring things to understand better my relationship with her. And then he followed us and spent like 4 hours outside of the course to see how I interact with her. And the point is, if she would have locked her laptop leaving the office, probably most of it would have never happened. Just lock your laptop. And you understand that you're at work and you think nothing can happen, lock your laptop. Lock your phone. If you go to the gym, lock your phone. Everything can always happen. No one is too small of a target. I hope I was able to give you an idea about the risk of everyday life, and I hope you will be a bit more careful. Anyway, if you like this video, please add a comment, tell me what you do in your life. If you have a crazy story about someone cheating, someone being extremely good at selling you stuff, I'm happy to hear about it. And if you like this channel, please subscribe and help me growing.